What's up, guys? It's Will here, back again. It's 5 a.m., but you know what? Hono Studios announced a new Spider-Man from the comics, and I think we need to talk about it. If you're not familiar, Hono Studios is Hot Toys' sort of like sub-brand, off-brand. They produce entry-grade, sort of introductory level 1/6 scale figures that are really high quality, but at a much lower price point. And as of now, they've all been comic iteration characters, so I think this is pretty exciting. We're going to talk about this one. It has a cool suit and some unique accessories, so I think we need to talk about it. Guys, make sure to click the like button down below, click the subscribe button, and click the notification bell so you're notified of all news and things, reviews, and live streams for 1/6 scale collecting. We'll be live streaming and talking about this figure later today as well. But today we're here this morning to talk about the Hono Studio Spider-Man. So what you can see here on your screen right now is the first pick of this Hono Studios Spider-Man. This thing retails in Hong Kong for about $138 US as far as what Google is telling me for translation. We'll talk about that, currency translation. And usually Sideshow adds about 25% on top of that. So you're probably looking at a figure around $170 to $175 before shipping and tax. So probably $200 or so out the door, maybe a little bit more. I mean, that's what these Hono Studios figures are. They're introductory, entry grade level figures that are really high quality, but sort of get you into Hot Toys. And if you're a big comic reader, then this is perfect for that. So we're going to look at some more pictures, but there's something I want to show you guys real quick. There's the description that Hot Toys posted on Facebook this morning. So that one, it says the Symbiote Spider-Man figure has arrived. The Symbiote suit, it's black suit, but you know, Symbiote suit in the comics, right? In the video game, the Spider-Man 2 video game, it was called Symbiote suit. So excuse me in the beginning of this video if I called it black suit. My apologies. It is 5 a.m., so you have to forgive me. So it's a masthead covered in fabric, and of course the suit to me looks fabric itself. They got swappable eye plates, a signature comic book backdrop for the base, and it's 1/6 scale like Hot Toys mostly their other offerings. They also have a bendable feature for the webs, which I think is pretty exciting. The backpack made of web is also included in this set, is classic as well, and it says it's crawling off the page. So I do think for comic readers this is going to be a pretty exciting one. So let's go a little bit more through the photos here. Just looking at the first photo, I do think I really like the texture of the suit. It is more fabric compared to the black suit one from Spider-Man 2, the PS5 game. That one has more of like a, again, I don't have it in hand yet, but just from what I've seen, it has more of like that gooey sort of Venom vibe to it. And this one looks more comic-y. It looks more comic booky, which I think is what they're going for. And they also want to make it cheaper. So there's the web backpack. I think that's pretty interesting. Like, again, this seems like a comic thing to me, so it's cool. But the fabric on the suit doesn't impress me all that much when you have the black suit to compare it to. I mean, when you look at the black suit one from Spider-Man 2, it just has a much stronger, more realistic presence to it. It looks more symbiote and gooey like. But again, this is from a comic book and this is an entry grade level figure. So I think our expectations maybe have to be a bit lower on this one, just because it's, you know, it's not meant to be like super duper high end. It's just meant to say like, hey, this looks exactly like the comic book. And, you know, it gives me a good price point. I mean, $170, like that, what does the black suit one cost? Like, you know, $275 or $300. So it's somewhere around there. So I do think I do think this is a good offering for people who want to get into the 1/6 scale game, or maybe again, maybe you just love comics and you're like, I want that comic accurate look. To be honest, I have no idea whether it was fabric looking in the comic or it was maybe more gooey symbiote looking. It's hard to say, but I can say I do like these bendable web strings here. I do think that's pretty cool. They do look a little bit cheap in the photos, but again, I do like that that's going to be an offering for this figure. I would like to see maybe some of those in a more high-end way in some of the other Hot Toys Spider-Man figures. I think that would be a nice addition. And then also give the normal webs that are just sort of pre-posed, right? And then you can put those in too, but give him like a bendable set. I think that's pretty cool. But if you put him in a pose like this, you could probably be a little more dynamic, considering this figure is like pretty much all fabric, right? With that all fabric, I think that's something that you could totally work with. You could give this guy like a pose like this, a superhero landing pose, and I think you could do quite a bit with it, and you wouldn't have to be so concerned all the time about creasing. I like these comic book backdrops that they're using for these figures. I've heard some complaints that people don't, just because they take up a lot of space vertically. So you know, try to put a figure behind it, it's impossible, right? This has to go in the back of your lineup, or like maybe in a line, like you have them in a line, you know, right next to each other. And these are all against the back of that display case, right? But I mean, you can also take the comic out with the Wolverine. Like, he just has that little black sort of base there at the bottom. You can take the comic book out and you just put him on that, right? That seems fine too. But again, I do like this figure for what it's meant to be, for what its intention is. Its intention is to, you know, get the comic book readers to think about Hot Toys. And I think that's the idea here. They might even still be shocked by this price. So, you know, I think overall the figure looks pretty good though. Again, I'm not the biggest comic book reader. I'm a casual Spider-Man fan. I mean, I do love all the Tom Holland films. Toby was good. Andrew was really good. But again, I'm not the Spider-Man guy. But I will say that I do think this figure is pretty good. And Hot Toys knows to make everything Spider-Man because that's what's hot right now. I mean, the kids love Spider-Man, dude. So, and collectors love Spider-Man. He's an iconic, he's one of the most iconic superheroes of all time. So I don't like, by the way, you can see this on the foot here. I don't like the Hono Studios is not even putting any effort in whatsoever into covering the foot joints a lot of times. I mean, with this fabric, I guess we'll see how that turns out. It looks fine here, right? But at the bottom, it just kind of bothers me. And with the Wolverine I just saw recently, the foot joint is like openly exposed. And that's kind of concerning to me. I don't love that. But again, I think you could do a lot with this guy. You do have that stitching on the top of the head. It looks like that's not great. I mean, that's been the case with almost every Spider-Man that has fabric on it. So again, I don't love that. The web backpack I think is kind of cool. I mean, again, that does look comic booky to me. I don't think I would end up using that if I had this figure, but you know, I do think it's a pretty cool addition. So, I mean, I think this is pretty cool. And let me show you guys one more thing here. So the secret base thing. So if you're ever curious about that, when Hot Toys posts this stuff, secret base on Facebook posted as well. You can see right here, Hong Kong price of $1,080. So if you plug that into Google, it's about $138, right? So $138, 25% fee on top of that for import. At that point, again, 170, 175, somewhere around that range. I think that's reasonable. You know, I don't think that's crazy in today's hot toy market. So, you know, yeah, it's highly articulated, you know, entry grade, it's high quality. So I think that's the intention here. And I don't think that we can complain too much about that. The material does look a little cheap to me. I will say that, but at the same time, that's kind of what you're buying, right? You know, you're not buying that premium version. You're buying sort of the comic book entry grade level version, like Hono Studios Wolverine. Check that one out if you haven't already. I think that looks pretty cool too. But again, like, I don't think it's going to be probably as good for most collectors as like the Deadpool 3 Wolverine probably will be. So it just depends on what you want. I mean, if you want a comic book accurate version, I think this looks pretty cool from what I can tell. And I do think it's going to be more posable than probably most Spider-Man figures tend to be from Hot Toys. So, you know, if that's your goal and you really want to engage with the figure more often, I don't think there's a huge problem here. But I like the swappable eye plates. I like, you know, the Venom logo on the chest. Everyone's been waiting for that in a Spider-Man and a Venom forever. So, you know, I think that's pretty reasonable. But again, you know, I think it comes with not a ton, but just enough to kind of keep you engaged and get you started out. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Like, let me know what you're thinking about this Hono Studios Spider-Man Symbiote suit. I called it black suit in the beginning, but again, it's 5 a.m., so please forgive me. And let me know, like, again, you know, drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. We're going to talk about this on the live stream today, Lights, Camera, Collect at 5:15 p.m. Eastern. We have Kiko Collects, one of my best bros on there. It's going to be fun. So really good time there. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. I just posted a video on Hot Toys exclusives and a total guide on how to obtain them. So check that out if you have not already. And that's pretty much it, guys. Click the notification bell. A lot of updates coming on this channel. Hopefully there's going to be a Deadpool announcement soon, but let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. See you later. Bye. I got to end the stream. Bye.